Okay, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive today into Pete Walker's really important work on complex PTSD, CPTSD for short.
Yeah, and our goal is to understand something specific. He talks about why big emotional reactions sometimes feel like, well, like time travel.
Exactly, like emotional time travel. Have you ever wondered, why maybe a small disagreement triggers this massive response,
hmm
and suddenly you feel less like an adult in the present moment and more like, I don't know, a scared kid?
Right. And we're not necessarily talking about one big traumatic event here. Walker focuses on the chronic stuff.
The relational trauma, like ongoing neglect or constant criticism, or maybe love that felt like you always had to earn it.
Exactly. And Walker's key point, I think, is how this differs from, say, single event PTSD. CPTSD is often about this slow erosion of your sense of self.
Because it wasn't safe to be you, to show your real feelings.
Precisely. You learn to suppress who you really are, disconnect emotionally, just to survive, just to get some form of conditional care.
Which leads us perfectly into maybe his most famous idea,
Hmm.
the 4F responses.
Ah, yes. The fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses.
These are basically survival strategies, right? Ways people learn to protect themselves in those difficult environments.
Absolutely essential for survival back then. But the problem is, they can become these rigid patterns later in life, almost like prisons.
So let's quickly define them. Fight is.
Fight looks like needing control, maybe being quick to anger, sometimes even leaning into narcissisms, like, I'll push you away before you can hurt me.
Okay. And flight, that's the busy one.
Yeah, the constant achiever, the perfectionist, always running, trying to outrun the internal pain or gain validation. Stay busy, stay safe.
Then there's freeze. That sounds like shutting down.
Total shutdown, feeling numb, dissociated, maybe collapsing emotionally when things get overwhelming. It's like playing dead when danger feels inescapable.
And the last one, fawn.
Fawn is the intense people-pleasing, making yourself indispensable, trying desperately to avoid rejection or anger from others by basically anticipating their needs. Appeasement for safety.
And it's important to say, people don't usually just fit into one box, right? Walker says most people cycle through them.
Definitely. It's often a mix, maybe with one or two dominant responses depending on the trigger or situation.
So what does this all do inside? You mentioned the inner critic.
Right, that's that harsh, relentless internal voice. You know the one.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. You messed up again. You don't deserve this.
Ugh, yeah. And that's not actually your voice, is it?
No. It's the internalized voice of that childhood conditioning. The criticism, the neglect turned inwards. It's what keeps the 4F patterns going, in a way.
And this connects to emotional flashbacks, another huge concept from Walker. Can you explain those? They aren't like movie flashbacks.
Not at all. It's not a visual memory usually.
Yeah.
It's feeling the emotions of the past, the fear, the shame, the abandonment, the despair, as if they're happening right now.
So your body reacts, your nervous system gets hijacked.
Exactly. You're suddenly feeling and reacting like that vulnerable child again, even though the current situation objectively isn't dangerous in the same way. It feels like life or death.
Wow. Okay, so how do you even begin to deal with that? It sounds overwhelming.
It is overwhelming, but Walker offers a really gentle starting point. It begins with just noticing when you're triggered.
It's just the awareness.
Awareness, and then a simple, kind reminder to yourself. I'm having an emotional flashback. I am safe right now. Grounding yourself in the present.
I'm safe now. That's powerful in its simplicity.
It really is. And that's the doorway, Walker suggests, to moving from surviving to thriving. It involves practices that build internal safety.
Like what kind of practices?
Well, things like self-compassion, learning to be kind to yourself instead of beating yourself up, and what he calls inner reparenting.
Giving yourself what you missed, like that safety, that validation.
Exactly. Actively becoming that protective, nurturing presence for your inner child. Telling that part of you, I see you, I've got you.
Which must connect to setting boundaries too, right? Especially if you lean towards fawn.
Huge connection. Learning to say no, to protect your space and energy without feeling crippling guilt. And finally, allowing yourself to grieve.
Grieve the past, the childhood you didn't get.
Yes. Grieving the losses, the pain, the lack of unconditional love, letting that old pain move through you instead of staying stuck.
It sounds like a long journey and maybe not a straight line.
Oh, definitely not linear. There will be setbacks.
Yeah.
But the key is that awareness and self-kindness start to build up over time. You slowly create more internal safety.
So bring this all together. What's the big takeaway for someone listening?
I think Walker's most hopeful message is that the trauma, the past, doesn't have to define who you are forever. your healing journey can.
Your healing defines you. I like that.
Yeah. And maybe something to reflect on is this. Every single time you catch that inner critic, every time you choose patience with yourself instead of punishment, you're doing something profound.
Like breaking a cycle.
Exactly. You're breaking a generational chain, potentially. Healing isn't about becoming some perfect, fixed version of yourself. It's more about remembering, or maybe uncovering, who you were before the pain took over. So maybe ask yourself, what's one small, patient step you could take for yourself today?